How do you develop a mining project that not only creates local jobs, but also leaves lasting benefits to communities and the region?
This is a question that is constantly on our minds, and it really starts with getting into the community, getting in front of the people in the community, and understanding, learning from them what the goals and aspirations long-term of the community are.
The Blackwater project is located in north-central British Columbia, about 3 hours southwest of Vanderhoof by road. It is in a remote area along the northern flanks of Mount Davidson and the Nechako Plateau. Its nearest neighbors include First Nations communities, Vanderhoof, Fort St. James, Fraser Lake, and Burns Lake. The project, including the mine site, transmission line, and access road, is located in the asserted traditional territories of a number of First Nations. The proposed access route follows the existing Cluskas and Utsa Forest Service roads. To avoid critical winter habitat and reduce travel time, a 15-kilometer section of new road would be built. An existing substation south of Endako would provide reliable power by a 133-kilometer transmission line. To minimize incremental environmental impacts, the transmission line would follow existing roads, trails, and clear cuts for almost 70% of its length. The project team has been working with stakeholders to confirm a route that reduces impacts to land users. The Blackwater project area has been actively explored since 1973. The proposed mine has the potential to produce an average of over 500,000 ounces of gold and 2 million ounces of silver each year. The mine is expected to operate for 17 years. Mine facilities would be located to minimize impacts to sensitive areas such as northern caribou and kokanee habitat, and whitebark pine. The ore would be mined using an open pit method. By the mine's 17th year, the pit would be approximately 500 meters deep. Excess rock taken from the pit would either be used as construction material or placed in engineered waste management facilities. Buildings and facilities would be clustered together to minimize the project's footprint on the land. The project is being designed and would be operated and closed in a way that protects the long-term health of the natural environment. In the pit, large shovels would be used to fill trucks that carry up to 265,000 tons of ore and waste each day. The gold and silver ore would be crushed and conveyed to the mill for grinding and recovery of the metals. The recovered gold and silver would be poured into bars. Once the gold and silver is recovered from the finely ground ore, the ore is referred to as tailings. These tailings would be stored in the tailings storage facility. This facility, and all mine facilities, are being designed to protect regional ground and surface water during operations and after closure. Process and site drainage water would be recycled to minimize reliance on fresh water. The project will meet BC water quality guidelines for the protection of fish and freshwater resources, and is subject to a coordinated federal and provincial environmental review. To ensure land is safely returned to productive use, a mine reclamation plan will be developed. Mine closure and reclamation are regulated under the BC Environmental Assessment Act and the BC Mines Act. This includes removing all structures, allowing the pit to fill to create a lake, constructing wetlands, and covering and revegetating the waste rock storage areas. After the mine closes, the land could be used for recreation or wildlife habitat. Constructing the mine would employ up to 1,500 people during the peak period. Operating the mine would require about 500 employees over 17 years.
We plan on hiring people initially early, start training at the early stage. We anticipate our operating crew, the vast majority of them will be from the immediate area of the mine.
In 2012, 66% of the project's workforce came from the local region, and about 28% were Aboriginal peoples. Last year, the project spent $100 million on local goods and services. That's about 70% of the total money spent. Through training, partnerships, recruitment, and procurement, New Gold is working to ensure as many jobs as possible are filled by local people. Employee health and safety are key priorities for New Gold. The Blackwater site offers wholesome meals, a positive environment, well-maintained accommodation, first aid facilities, and transportation to and from the project site. New Gold is working together with a community liaison committee to help build stronger and more diverse communities in the project area. Through citizens' forums, workshops, and meetings, the project is connecting to the goals and priorities of local residents.
We want to make decisions that will bring families into our community, that will build capacity in our community, that people see us as a place to live, to grow up, to have their families be here and be part of our community. And so we see this as a win situation, a real partnership between the District of Vanderhoof and the New Gold Corporation that really helps both the people in the community of Vanderhoof, but also helps as far as the profitability of the New Gold Corporation in the future.
Working with local and regional governments, First Nations, organizations, and citizens helps New Gold build the best project possible for the company, the environment, and for the region.
And we talk about sustainable mining, and that means that when the mine is finished, the people in the area are better off and feel better off and say that they were glad that mining company was there after the mine is closed. That's the true measure of a successful mining company.